Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from GED Math Tutoring. Hopefully you guys are having a lovely holiday. I know it is happy Thanksgiving for a lot of people. Some people are celebrating, some people are not, like myself. But hopefully everyone is doing well. And just wanted to give you a little bit of a math break, just in between festivities, arguments, drunk uncle, all the usual stuff. So if anything, I'm just here to do a little bit of math just for a bit, just to kind of like keep our brain active and moving and, just kind of get away from the noise for a bit. So if you're taking your GED, your ASVAB, your ACCUPLACER, your TEAS test, your HESI test, and you need a lot of the algebra, this is definitely going to be the live for you. So I'm going to really hit hard, especially for the GED, those 4-point questions, dealing with slope, dealing with a little bit of 3-point questions like this one that we have here, where we're going to be doing the order of operation. So let's just take a look at what we got here. So simplify the expression. We have 4 plus 36 divided by 10 minus 8 squared times 3 plus 7. So I want to know if you do all your simplifying and you do your correct order of operation, is your answer A, 130, B, 100, C, 38, or D, 37? So you can go ahead and just put your answer right into the comments, and then I'll show you how I get it done. All right. Hello, Michael. Thank you so much for the shout out. Hello, Mike, with your D. Okay, Dad Talk. Hello with C. Kimra with C. One guy saying B. Tater Thought. Hey, saying B. Pretty Baby. Thank you so much for the follow. All right, Deshaun is saying C, and you're saying D. That's easy. Okay, Pretty Baby's got, or Pretty Babe, sorry, it says B. Wait, not easy. Okay. Not a problem whenever you guys are ready to do it. All right, just take your time. So I know when I'm here on this platform, I usually like to speak to those people that, math was never really your subject. Or you could easily say, when you see something like this, you're like, oh, no, I hate math. I'm never going to do this again. Well, those are the people I really want to talk to, because I used to be the same way. And now, look at me. I'm a math teacher. Who knew? And an online math tutor. All right. So we definitely got some B's. We got some C's. We got a little competition with B's and C's. You're a junior taking Algebra 1 stars. Okay. And you're cooked. I know. Relax. When are you going to take it? All right, so let's take a look. So if we can remember, I'm going to slide it over here. We're going to have, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, now the key thing, and you're probably going to see a few lives here and there, that a lot of people always remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or I think it's BOD and there's something international. But the part that everyone keeps missing is from left to right, okay, especially with the multiplying and dividing. So now let's take a look. So inside the parenthesis, we have 10 minus 8. That gives me 2. So we have 4 plus 36 divided by 2, and that is being squared, times 3 plus 7. Okay, let me unzoom just a hair. All right, so now we took care of the parentheses. Boom, that's done. Now we're looking at our exponent. Now we have 2 to the second power. We are not adding the 4 and the 36. Stop it, okay? There is order, okay? So we have our 4 plus our 36 divided by 2 squared, which gives us 4, times 3 plus 7. So now we took care of the exponent. Now from left to right, this is what we need to combine. Yes, it says multiplication then division, but what came first from left to right? It is your 36 divided by 4. So that means we have 4 plus 36 divided by 4, that gives me 9, times 3 plus 7. All right, so now let's do the multiplication here. So we got 4 plus 27 plus 7. Now we're almost done. So now we go 4 plus 7. So we figured out our multiplication division. That's all done. So now from left to right, we're doing addition, then subtraction. So luckily, it's all addition. So that means you got your 4 plus your 27. That gives you your 31. 31 plus 7. That gives you your answer of 38. Okay, so the answer for this is C. All right, yeah, don't change your answer. Okay, so I know a lot of people, when they get to the order of operations, we're like, yeah, multiplication comes before division, but that key part from left to right is that crucial step. All right, so now let's get with the next part. So we're going to evaluate the expression negative 4x plus 5y minus 14 when x equals 0 and y equals 3/5. So is your answer A, negative 1, B, negative 11, C, negative 15, or D, negative 51? Thanks, Spencer. You just guessed C? Good. All right, Michael saying B, smart coverage with B, Petunia with B, Viper saying C, Maherly Grab saying, hey, Gamble, how are you? Saying B, Cabana, B. Is that delivered? Saying B? I'm trying to read all this stuff. Right? Are you guys like fighting over me? This is crazy. All right. Okay. All right. Hey, Robert. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Welcome back. It's been a minute. Okay, Lobes, how are you? Welcome back. Emily, good with the B's. Texas Terry saying B, but you want an A? Well, then you have to work hard, teacher. Texas, you're going to have to work hard. That's what it is. It's all about hard work, darling. All right, Daly, we're saying B. Ray with E. Well, there's no E, darls. Let's go. Daly with the negative 11. All right, so let's take a look. Do not let the fraction freak you out. So first off, we have our negative 4 with our x is 0 plus my 5 times my 3/5 minus 14. Well, we all know that anything times 0 is going to be 0, and we don't have to put our answer of 0 down as a placeholder because we got all this other stuff going on. So I'm just going to cut that away. Now, 5 times 3/5. Now, if we think of it, 5 is a whole number. If I put that over 1, I can do what's called cross simplify. I can do 5 divided by 5, and that gives me 1. So when I cancel out my 5s, what's left over? 3 divided by 1. And 3 over 1 is just simply 3. Bring down that minus 14. So 3 minus 14, that gives me a negative 11. So our answer is going to be B. Now, if you're probably saying, well, Audrey, couldn't we put that in the calculator? Well, if you're not taking the GED or the ASVAB or the ACCUPLACER, sure, you can use a calculator because the HESI test and the TEAS test, that will allow you to use a calculator. But those other 3, nope. You have to use, everything has to be done by hand. I know, right? So like if you really think about it, you left high school for whatever reason. Everyone has certain reasons for certain times, and they had to do certain things, right? Then all of a sudden, when you want to get your GED, now they take away a resource that can help you. Make it make sense, right? Make it make sense. All right, so number 3, simplify the expression. So we have 1 plus 4 times 2x minus 3 minus x. So is your answer A, 9x minus 3, B, 9x minus 15, C, 7x minus 2, or D, 7x minus 11? Yeah, we're not doing it. All right, so I got some B's, I have some D's. Okay, I have a whole series of D's. Hi, Kaya, how are you? Okay, Michael with my D, Emily D, Smart D. Okay, Tanya D, Velvet D, Spades D, Kevin C, Robert D, Mortgage Free, don't we want that, is D. Right, okay, good. Michael Cobb with a B. Hello, Libby. How are you with the C? Okay, Raisins was my B's. Love peanuts. It was the A. All right, well, let's take a look. So now this time, we don't have anything to substitute for the X. So all we're basically doing is simplifying, trying to get all our X's together and get all our constants together. So since we have this multiplication, that means I'm going to distribute that 4 to everything inside that parenthesis. All right, so now you're going to have your 1 plus 4 times 2, that gives me 8x. And 4 times negative 3, that gives me a negative 12. And I bring down my minus x. So now we have some like terms to combine. Once I do that distribution and I combine my like terms, I have 8x minus 1x, okay? 8 minus 1, that gives me 7x. So when I see this, I'm going to go to my answer choices, and right away, A and B is out because I got a 7x. So now I'm going to take a look. I have a 1 minus 12. Right away, mental math. Is there any blessed way that 1 minus 12 can give me a 2? Nope. So your answer is going to be D. Now remember, a lot of these assessments are going to be timed. So anything that can shave a little couple seconds here and there is going to help you out for those tougher questions that you want to actually spend time on. All right. So again, once you see your answer, you click it, you bubble it, and then you move on. All right. I know. It is. It is. All right. So let's simplify this expression. So you have 7x squared minus 6 plus 4x plus 7. Let me make this a lot bigger. Feel like I'm giving you an eye chart right now. All right, so again, 7x squared minus 6 plus 4x plus 7 minus 5x squared plus x. Is your answer A, B, C, or D? Oh, okay, so we have a bunch of A's right off the jump. Zach's always want to get an A. What's going on with you? Ian saying C. Raylon saying B. And then we got C's. Lily saying A. It's not A. Okay. Chomp, I'm going to say Chomp is A. Jackson A. Okay. Bad Indian. Ooh. C. Dennis. Okay. Doing math from Thanksgiving. Yes. That's it, Audrey. That's what it is. I do it to keep the demons down below. Once they get into the head, that's all it is. All right, it's C. Okay, Lobes is A. Oops, A. Okay, never mind. It's this far. Okay. All right. No, there's no never mind, Jessica. Come on. You got this. You got this. You know, if you want to get into that whole testing realm, you got to face your fear. All right, so we got a whole bunch of A's. So let's take a gander. All right, first things first. I'm the realist. Psych. All right, so we have our 7x squared and this negative 5x squared. So 7 minus 5 gives me 2. Right away, C and D is out because this is telling me 12x squared. That's telling me 12x squared. So I know a lot of people say, well, let's look at the constant. Well, if you notice with A and B, they both have the same constant of 1. But what is different is what they get for their x's. So tackle those next. So if you notice here, I have a 4x, and here I have a 1x. If I go 4 plus 1, that is going to give me my 5. So my answer will be A. Notice I didn't do the whole entire thing. I know you guys want to, but when you take a test, like I'm going to emphasize this, GED, like the standardized test. If you are currently in the classroom, you need to show all your work because your teacher will actually look at that work to see, hey, I might be able to give you partial credit. But for the standardized assessments, nope. They take your extra, if you do have extra piece of paper, they take that bad boy and they recycle it, aka just throw it in the trash. All right? Unless you have like one of those whiteboards that if they do give you something. All right? So the answer was A for that one. Okay, so number 5, a function is defined as f of x equals negative 3x squared plus 2x minus 5. What if f of negative 1? So what is f of negative 1? So is it A, negative 16, B, negative 10, C, negative 6, or D, negative 4? It's stuck like Chuck. Notice the negative 1 is in the same spot as the x. Little hint. Okay, and while you're waiting, if you guys want to tap away, that'll be awesome. If you want to share the live, if you know someone else that's like, I don't know what to do with my GED. Just like, girl, put the bottle down. There's Audrey, she's live. She's doing math on Thanksgiving, like crazy. Please, I had tutoring all morning long. I had 2 cancellations, which I knew they were going to cancel, but like, no, I'm going to be there. Nope. But that's all right. All right. Yes. Hey, Miss Adventures, how are you? Okay. Delora, yes, you need help? Hey, that's all you gotta do. Just ask away. Just go ahead and message me. There you go. Hey, Casper, how are you? All right, so we got a whole bunch of B's. Thank you, Michael, for putting up. If anything, you want to join my little fan base, not the super fan. You don't have to do the super fan thing. All right. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. Because sometimes I feel like that's too much. I don't know. But if you want to join the community, get a notification when I'm on live for TikTok. There is a heart right next to my name. Go ahead and click on that and go ahead and join the little community. Plus, you guys are going to get the heads up on when my latest and greatest sets of books is coming out. So that's what I've been working on for a couple weeks now. Okay? All right, so let's take a look. So all we're doing is substituting. So we have negative 3. And we're going to substitute that negative 1 for the x there. Then we're going to substitute the negative 1 for the x there. All right. So just like, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, we're going to come up here. From left to right. Okay, inside the parentheses, we don't have anything to combine, but we do have an exponent. Negative 1 squared, that gives me 1 because it's negative 1 times negative 1. But it is also still being multiplied by our negative 3 plus my 2 times my negative 1 minus 5. So now we took care of the exponents. Boom, that's done. Now we need multiplication or division from left to right. Well, we are lucky enough that we have -3 times 1 as well as 2 times -1. So this gives us a -3 plus a -2. Then we just simply bring down our -5. So now we have from left to right, basically it's form of addition because they're all negatives. So -3 minus 2, that gives me a -5. When the signs are the same, you're adding them and keeping the signage. So you have your -5 minus 5, that gives you a -10. All right. What is this for? A little prep for GED, ASVAB, ACCUPLACER, TEAS test, the basic essentials. So trying to help those people that, want to raise their score, especially for the ASVAB. That's been like a latest thing for me. And just to really help on the basic skills. Okay. Plus, it's nice, it's cool, it's refreshing. It's a palate cleanser. There's only so much. Okay, so then you work on the math? Yes. So definitely do a lot of the practice. You got some of the practice tests. And here's another thing. If you ever get stuck and you need someone to help you tutor, just let me know. All right, so for the next one, solve the equation for x. We have x over 3, or basically 1/3 x, plus 7 equals -5. Is your answer A, -36, B, -22, C, -6, or D, -4? Okay, so we've got our spades. What was your score? Yep. Okay, we got our A, Andy with an A, Small with an A, Star with an A, Michael with an A, J with an A, J2 with an A. Welcome on in, Pamela. Okay. Well, probably Katie saying A. Judah with a B. Absolute with an A. C. Pond with an A. Brah. Think it's A, brah? All right, cool. Lele with an A. Oh, Mel, sorry, I skipped you. Sid, I skipped you with -22 with an A. Louise, welcome back with an A. Tanya Squared, welcome back with an A. Quantum Particles with an A. Love it. Okay, is it Selfie? Solidify? No, not Solidify. That's where. Sabe with an A. Marv, -32. All right, let's get it going. First thing, we need to subtract this 7. I know my desk is getting old. Everyone's like, is she just sitting there farting all day? No. All right, so -5 plus -7, that gives me a -12. So this is the part. A couple of my clients was doing this. They're like, oh, okay, so that means I can divide -12 and 3. No. This is the division. The inverse of division is multiplication. So we're going to multiply both sides by its denominator. Okay, and the denominator is 3. The reason why, because 3 divided by 3 over here will give me 1, or just simply x. Then you have your -12 times 3 gives you -36. So the answer will be A. Alright. And number 7, which will be the last one off of this lovely little page. And if you're wondering where I got this page from, in the internet. Literally, I just type in free practice problems for ASVAB, for GED, for HESI, for TEAS test, for ACCUPLACER. You'll be shocked and surprised what you can find on there. Okay. Right? So helpful. Thank you. Learning this in 6th grade. All right, cool. All right, so solve the equation for x. Is it 5 times the difference of x and 2 plus 4 times the sum of 3 and x equals 20? Is your answer A, -2, B, -2/9, C, 5/3, or D, 2. All you have to do is just put your answer into the chat. And what I do is I just break it down step by step how we get these answers. So for all those people who are just joining, welcome on in. I know this is a nice little palate cleanser. A lot of people are just like, I'm just sitting here. It's nice and quiet here in Baltimore right now because, the Ravens are about to play in about an hour and 5 minutes. So, it's the calm before the storm. So this is what we're doing. Can we do calculus? I do not do calculus. That is not my thing. But I'm not sure if my friend Robert is here. He does calculus from Main Street Math Tutoring. So you can check with him. All right, so we got a bunch of D's. Andy with a D, W with a D. Okay, little C is saying a B. Okay, Star is saying D. Let me come up to the top because I know some people. Rudy said a D. Katie said a D. Lily said a D. Emily said a D. I love my girl said a D. Okay, Louise said a D. Lots with the D's and 2s. Good job, Joe with a D. Liquefied with a D. F1. Oh, F1. Loved it. Saying D. Quantum D. Lima. Brazil. Okay, so let's take a look. All we have to do is let's do our distributive property. So we need to distribute everything in that first parenthesis with the 5. And then everything in the second parenthesis with the 4. Okay, so you don't want to just distribute, say, 5x and say minus 2 after that. No, it's almost like you had some candy. It's you and your friends are standing right in front of you. You gave candy to one friend and not to the other. Please, they will blow you up on social media. Okay. This girl, she had some candy and she just ignored me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's how it goes. 4 times 3, that gives me my 12. Plus 4 times x gives me my 4x. And then all we're doing is just bringing down our equals 20. All right. So now we want to combine our like terms. So as we can tell, my like term, we have a 5x. And we have a 4x. But guess what? They're both on the same side of the equal sign. All right. Combine them before we do any kind of movement. So 5 plus 4, that gives me 9x. Then you have this negative 10 plus 12. All right. You have $12. You spent 10. That means you have $2. Yippee skip B. And then it equals our 20. So now we want to get x by itself. So this is the part that everyone keeps forgetting. I'm not sure why, but it's okay. When you see a positive 2, you want to do the inverse. So you're going to subtract 2 on both sides. These can cancel out. So now my 9x comes down. So now I have 20 minus 2, well, that gives me 18. And from here, you could be like, all right, cool. I know what the answer is. Circle it, bubble it, move on. But if not, you can divide by 9 because 9x, that's multiplication. The inverse of multiplication is division. So 9 divided by 9 gives me 1, but I can just simply say 1x or just x. 18 divided by 9, that gives me 2. So our answer is D. All right. Okay. All right. Awesome. So now, thank you so much for the follows, guys. We're going to keep this party moving and grooving. So now we're going to step up a little bit. So that was solving and evaluating. Now we're going to be looking at inequalities, okay? So we were doing a lot of solving with equals because we want one thing to equal another so we can get a true statement. Now, when we're doing inequalities, we want to know what sets of numbers are going to give us a true statement. Okay, that's the reason why we do a lot of these things. We want to figure out what the truth is, right? So for this one, it asks which graph represents the solution to the inequality x plus 6 is less than or equal to negative 9. Please do not say less than, greater than. That's not what that sign means, okay? That sign means, this is pointing to the left, it means less than, okay? The line underneath means or equal to. So first, we'll need to figure out what it's supposed to equal. All right, so let me just show that part up because I know we got to the next one. So is your answer A, B, C, or D? Let me give you a moment to see if you can give me the right answer. Wow, there's a whole lot of B's. All right, so I have Cece, I have Spades, I have Emily, I have Mel. They're all saying B. There is probably some more. Andy with a B. Little C saying B. Okay, Tanya Square with a B. Bettina is saying B. User 88 saying A. Call me Rush. Don't remember which open circle means. Not a problem. I'm going to go through that. Okay, Michael saying B. Greg is saying B. Or OB. Okay. Okay, Quantum with A. Star with a C. But when you have that, okay, there you go. Thank you. Expel, not sure. Okay, Remy with a B. Hey, Shakita. Star people. Palette full, yes. Gamble, yes. Difference between the open and closed circle, I got you, Big Z. All right. Electric, we're saying B. Star with C. All right. Now, when you have, I'm going to get back to that person. When you have less than or even greater than, it's going to be an open circle. I know, I love when they say open dot. I'm like, isn't that a circle? Okay, so it's going to be open. If it's less than or equal to, or even greater than or equal to, it will be a closed circle or a dot. The reason why it's a dot is because you're including that number. You know, like how you have cliques and you're like, oh yeah, I'm part of the clique because I just sit right next to them, but you're not really a part of the group. That's the open circle. But if you're like a part of the group, you're socializing, you're jamming it together, you are part of that group. So you're included. So you're the dot. So in this case, right away, there's a line underneath that inequality. So that means it's going to be a dot. So right away, A and C are gone. Okay, because they got open circles. Sorry. So we need to know, obviously, it looks like our answer is going to be a negative 15, which it is. And we're still looking at less than or equal to. So if we're looking at less than, if we take a look at D, it's looking at the numbers that are going all the way up to what's called positive infinity. So all your larger numbers are going to be to the right. But we're looking at less than. So that means we're looking at numbers going all the way to negative infinity. So your answer is going to be B. All right. So the only time, because I know this is going to happen, wasn't there a rule that we had to flip them? Yes. Only when you multiply or divide by a negative number, that's like in front of the X, you're probably going to see in a couple examples. That's when you change the direction of the inequality sign. Anytime you multiply or divide by a number, that's when you change the inequality sign. Okay, just to give you a little heads up. All right, these people, you see how simple that was? Once you understood what was what, that's a 4-point question on the GED. 4-point question. Craziness. All right. All right, so number 9. Solve the inequality for x. We have 5 minus 3x is less than 20. Is your answer A, x is greater than negative 25 thirds? Is it B, x is greater than negative 5? Is it C, x is less than negative 25 thirds? Or is it D, x is less than negative 5? Okay, I'm seeing an array of D's, a couple B's. Okay, had like an A in there. Okay, Philippe is giving me a B. Is that Rimada is saying D? Maestro is saying D. Electric D. Tess Squared, how are you? Okay, Jen is with the B. Blue Magic is A. Manson and Juanito saying B. Okay, got your Blue Magic. Okay, Gamble is saying B. Shamel is saying D. I think it's delivered is saying D. Okay, Mama with the B. We got the B's. Good. All right, good. All right, so there's my Apple user. What is the answer? 1, calm down with the caffeine, babe. It's late. All right, so first off, we need to solve this. So 5 minus 3x is less than 20. So we need to subtract our 5 because the signage for the 5 is not the negative. It's what's in front. This is positive. So you got your minus 5. Okay, so the signs are always to the left of the number. So now 20 minus 5, that gives me 15. And now I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3. Weren't we just talking about this? See? So now you have your x. And since we were dividing by a negative number right here, that inequality sign needs to change direction. Okay? You don't change the sign of your answer, you change the direction of your inequality. So now we have x is greater than negative 5. So that will be B. All right, yes. Okay, we have to flip that sign. Anytime you multiply or divide, you have to flip the sign. All right. So, number 10. So what is the solution set of absolute value 3x minus 2 equals 7? Is it A, 3? Is it B, negative 3 and 3? C, negative 5 thirds and 3? Or D, negative 5 thirds? Ooh, absolute values. Let's see what people can get. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of A's. Oh, wait, never mind. We got A, we got a D. Abigail with an A. Shalanda saying A. Oh, you haven't learned absolute values? No problem, Winter. I got you. Okay, Miss Jess saying C. Mina with D. User 75 saying C. Star A. User 63A. You feel that's B? Okay. All right, so you got your A. We got Berkshire's. We got a bunch of A's and D's and C's. So I guess we're all in agreement that B is not one of our answers. Oh, wait, Brittany put a B in there. They're shaking it. Mama Rose is saying A. Hello, Mama Rose. All right. Okay, we got the coaster with our C. The biggest boss. Go ahead, baby. I appreciate you saying A. Okay, Coaster is saying C. Michael is saying C. Okay, I know 1 is equal to 3. All right, Asia, let's see what we got here. All right, ready? Okay. When we're doing absolute values, remember, absolute values is basically the distance away from 0. That's why absolute values are always positive. So if I had, let's say if I was on a number line and my house was at 0, this person's house is at 3, this other person's house at negative 3. Well, I know this person is 3 blocks away from my house, and this person is 3 blocks away from my house. Although it's in the opposite direction, it's still 3 blocks. That's why the absolute value of, say, -3 and the absolute value of 3 both equal 3. All right, a little history right there. Now, when we're solving absolute values, that means you have to write it in 2 forms. Here's a huge clue for you guys. If your equation equals a negative right from the jump, automatically it's a no solution. You can't do it. You can't, as you can see, get a negative as your answer. But we need to represent the negative side. So we have 3x minus 2 is equal to 7. So the first time I write it without the absolute value. Now for the second equation, everything inside the absolute value will be exactly the same, but we're going to set it equal to 7, -7, okay? If the original has a -7, no solution, but we are making it -7 because it's almost like it's representing, like say the -3 that will be inside the absolute value. So when we solve, we're going to add 2. Just going to add the equation just like we normally do. So add 2 there and add 2 there. They cancel out. They cancel out. So now we have 3x is equal to 7 plus 2, which gives me 9. And then over here, we have 3x is equal to -7 plus 2. So you owed me $7. You gave me $2. So that means you owe me $5. So 3x means 3 times x equals 9. So I'm going to do the inverse. I'm going to divide 3. So 9 divided by 3 gives me 3. So one person said, well, I know one of the answers is 3. So knowing that information right away, D, gone. Okay, but A is also gone because if just by looking at this is not going to give me a 3, right? So if I know that means B is probably gone too. Because if I divide, almost used the wrong pen. If I divide both sides by 3, I'm going to get x is equal to -5/3. So my 2 answers is going to be in the set of -5/3 and 3. All right. Okay, you're good now, Winter? Yep. Okay, so if the original starts with a negative, boom, don't even worry about doing anything. It's undefined. Right off the jump. Okay? Right off the jump. So if you can, set it up as 2 equations. One's going to be what you see without the absolute value, and the other one is going to equal the opposite of what is outside, which is a -7. All right. Almost done for tonight. I know, it's crazy. Okay, which statement is true about the characteristics of the 3 lines in the graph? Let me raise it up. You see the 3 lines? So is it A, they have the same equation? B, they have the same slope? C, they have the same x-intercept? Or D, they have the same y-intercept? So is it A, B, C, or D? All referring to those 3 lines. Okay. So we got parallel with Winter. We got same slope. Emily B, random spade B. When you explain this 40 years ago. We'll be in the same class, Ange. All right, maybe not. I would be in the older class. Anonymous. Yes. User B, Meatball C, Mel B, Mostafos. Same B, Mel B, Michael B, Chomp D, Easy Way B. Hello there, my chica Latina woman. Welcome in. Rosa B, Andy B. Okay, I saw test square is saying D, Mina D, user 63B, I got you. All right, Orchard with D, okay. All right, let's take a look. Now, y-intercepts, this is your y-axis. If they have the same y-intercept, they will all be crossing in the same spot, which they are not. They're in 3 different spots. D, gone. They have the same x-intercepts. This is your x-axis. Now, if they're having the same x-intercept, that means all 3 lines will be crossing at the same spot, which they are not. So that's gone. They have the same equation. If they were the same equation, you would probably see something like this, with like 3 arrowheads in one line. That means all 3 of those equations will overlap on one line if they had the same equation. So parallel lines that don't intersect, they have the same slope. Okay? From left to right, line 1, line 2, and line 3, all 3 of them have the same slope. They're all going positive from left to right. They're all increasing. So they all have the same slope. All right. Love that. Hey, Lynette. I was going to call you later today. And yeah, all kinds of craziness started happening. Anyway, number 12. Calculate the slope of the line that passes through points -4, -7, and 1, -7. Okay, so for all my people that are getting the GEDs, these are those 4-point questions, guys. You cannot skip. You cannot skip anything dealing with equation of the line, anything dealing with slope, anything dealing with linear inequalities, volume, system of equations. Those are all 4-point questions. You need to hit at least 3 of those bad boys and still do somewhat well on the basic arithmetic in order for you to pass the test. I'm telling you, you're not going to pass the test if you skip all of your equation of the line ones. You'll be getting scores that are like within 3 points or within 12 points. Okay? All right, we got this. All right. Okay, we got this, people. All right, thank you for the videos. No problem, Nessa. I'm telling you. And for the lives, not a problem, because I also have the videos too. All of the lives are all recorded, which I'm going to talk about that after this problem. So, nice little segue. So, I have some B's. Yeah, we got this. We got this. Major pound. Oh, there's Principal. How are you doing, loving? Okay, Alba. Yes, Alba Rose too. Hello, hugs, hugs, hugs. All right. Okay, Charlie is saying B. Now, here's another thing. If you're not sure, put a question mark in the chat. Put a question mark in it. If you're like, I don't remember the formula, I don't remember how we did this, it's okay. All right? You're okay? Good. I know, you're probably recovering. You know, it's all right. Thank you for your honesty, everyone. Have not learned? I got you. Not a problem. All right? Good, good. Thank you for your honesty, everybody. Okay, got the formula? I got you, lovely. I got you. Max got you. All right. So here we go. So when it comes to slope, let me even back up a little bit. When it comes to points, you have an X and then a Y. All right. Since we normally read left to right, this will be my first point. And this will be my second point. Okay. You can mix them up. You can interchange them. That's perfectly fine. I don't want to say mix them up. I want to say you can interchange, like say this is your first point and that's your second point. You can do that. Now, to find your slope. Slope is basically your change of y over the change of x. So a lot of people remember the formula as y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And all we're doing is plugging away. So in this case, my y2 will be a negative 7. I'm going to put it here. Minus my y1, which is a negative 7. Notice I'm only replacing the y1 with the negative 7. It's still doing subtraction. Okay? Over x, which is 1, minus my x of 1, which is a negative 4. So let's do the math. So you have a negative 7 minus a negative 7. When you minus a negative, that turns positive. So you have a negative 7 plus positive 7. You had $7, okay? Or you owe me $7, you pay me $7. Guess what? You don't owe me anything. That gives me a 0. Good. All right? So right away, when I see a 0 in the numerator, that's telling me I'm probably going to have a 0 slope. But let me continue on, especially for those that couldn't remember. So again, when I have 1 minus a negative 4, when I minus a negative, it turns positive. So 1 plus 4, that gives me 5. So when I have 0 over 5, that simply gives me 0. So my answer for this is B. Now, in order for it to be undefined, the 0 has to be in the denominator. So I like to remind myself and say no O below. When you have a 0 in the denominator, let's say if it said 5 over 0, which that's not the answer, that would be undefined. Can't have a 0 in the denominator. But remember, it's your y's over your x's. Okay, got me? All right. So here's my thing, because this is how my crazy brain goes. This formula works great when you naturally read from right to left. Like I said, we read, especially us in the States, we read from left to right. I just had a brain fart. So I could say y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. And you're like, what? What kind of devilish is this? Okay, let me show you. So we still have our x and y's. Our y1 is a negative 7 minus the negative 7. We have a negative 4 minus my 1. We still get minus a negative. We're still going to get a 0 in the. But that doesn't matter, because 0 divided by negative 5, that's still going to give me 0. What? Yes. So here's the key. As long as your y's are being lined up in the right spot, it doesn't matter if you use the 2's first or the 1's first. But just don't mix them up. Don't say y1 and over here be x2. You're going to get an answer, of course, but it'll be mad wrong. All right? Yep. It can be worked from right to left. Yes, it can. That's what they do in Asia all the time. All right. Hey, good night to y'all. All right. So also another quick tip. Notice the y's are exactly the same right from the jump. When your y's repeat, that means it's only going through the y-axis. So your equation of this line is going to be y equals -7 because your y's are repeating. If your x's were repeating, your equation will be x equals whatever the x value is that repeats. All right? Quick tips. Save you some time. All right. Last bit. Then I'm going to let you go. All right? I'm just going to do 2 more, and then I'm going to let you go. I know. It was supposed to be just like, a palate cleanser. And I'm over here giving you another meal. All right? And my cat's like touching me like, Mom, need you. All right, so determine the slope of the line in the graph. Is it A, 2/5, B, 5/2, C, -2/5, or D, -5/2? Okay, see if I can push that up a little bit, maybe make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so let's see what you guys got. This was dessert for your Thanksgiving dinner. Oh, good. All right. Okay. All right. So Michael's saying B's. Okay, Spade saying B's. All right, you too, my Latina woman. You keep being strong, baby. Okay. Emily is saying B. Thanks for following that. Chris, what grade is this for? It's basically for GED, ASVAB, and ACCUPLACER. Yeah, just a lot of those tests. Winter's thinking is B. Okay. All right, Tanya Squared, I got you. All right, Maya is saying A. Shaggy, practice for the ASVAB. Oh, yes, dear heart. Yes. Sharon, hello. Okay, Winter, you're thinking B or D. Okay, Diesel. Oh, same B. I had a student named Diesel. Miss that kid. Gun violence, people. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't hurt anybody else except for the people that they lost. All right, so what's the formula? We don't really need a whole lot of formula. It's similar to what we're looking at. So my slope, remember, is the change of y's over the change of x. But we also know slope as the rise over the run. All right. So when your rise is positive, it's going up. If it's negative, it's going down. Your run is always going left or right. Right if it's positive, left if it's negative. Now, looking at the graph from left to right, the graph is increasing. So that means you have a positive slope. So if I have a positive slope right away, C and D is out. So I need to get 2 points. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So I need 2 points that I can use. I could probably use this y-intercept right here, and I could probably use this point right here. And if I want, I can go from one point to the next. So it's almost like you're giving directions from your house to another person's house. You can't run inside people's homes just for a shortcut. That's how you get yourself killed. I live in Baltimore. Okay, so we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I rose 5, and I'm going to run 2. So my slope is 5 over 2. So my answer is going to be B. And then here's a little helpful hint. If your numerator is larger than your denominator, that means your graph is going to be steep. Okay? If your numerator is lower than your denominator, it's going to be not as steep. Okay? It's like a nice little incline on the treadmill compared to DEFCON 1 when you're seeing these people on 15 incline holding on to the treadmill for dear life talking about their exercising. No, you're trying to survive life. Put the incline down. Okay? All right. You do 15? Are you holding on for dear blessed life? Only for 2 minutes? Exactly. And your whole life flashed before your eyes. Like, why am I doing this? Exactly. Acting like you're trying to run a marathon uphill. Girl, put that thing down. Too much. All right. All right. So this will be our last one for tonight. You need to get back to your family. Training? What are you training for? Like, even if we go to war, what kind of incline do you need to speed up and you're going to hold on to dear life for? Are not good. Yes, you could do house stairs. House stairs are fun, but you have an incline of 15 on the house stairs, Roro? Woo! Blessed. Where do you live, off of Bishop's Hill in England? My goodness. Treadmill Olympics. Treadmill Olympics. That's great. All right. All right. So which describes, like, now every time you go on the treadmill, you're going to think about this live. It's great. I'm in your head. Love it. All right. So which describes the relationship between the two lines? Is it y equals 2x minus 3 or y equals 1/2 x plus 3? Not even or, it's basically the system. Are they parallel? Are they perpendicular? They intersect, but they're not perpendicular. The lines are the same. So what is their relationship? You have y equals 2x minus 3 and y equals 1/2 x plus 3. So are they parallel? Are they perpendicular? Do they intersect, but not perpendicular? Or are they the same? What do we got? So we got B. Oh, no problem, Michael. Actually, you guys saved me. So I appreciate you guys the most. Yes, I try to be funny. I'm not just a cute face or hand, whatever you guys say. All right, so C, bunch of C's. C's. Okay, I think it's perpendicular. Veterans, like, I don't know. That's fine. I'm going to show you in a moment. Okay. Was after that? Yes. Okay, we got a bunch of C's. Good, gamble C. All right. All right. So let's take a gander. Thank you for all those that are just joining in. Okay, so we're just looking at some stuff for GED, ASVAB, ACCUPLACER. Just trying to get you guys up and ready with the algebra. Yes, even on Thursday. All right, so like I said earlier, parallel lines, they have the same slope. So we're basically looking right here at that 1/2 as well as looking at the 2 because that's where our slopes lie. All right. So perpendicular means you're going to have opposite reciprocal slopes. So we know if we have a whole number of 2, the slope is always a fraction. So if you ever have a whole number, you put a 1 underneath it to represent your rise over the run. But if I want to do the opposite, that means this is positive, the opposite will be negative, and then the reciprocal will be the flip. Oh, hold on before they kick me out. Gotta love the puzzle piece. Okay, so if I do the reciprocal of 2 over 1, that's going to be 1 over 2. These will be the slopes of a perpendicular line. But take a look. Both of them are positive. They didn't do the opposite part of the opposite reciprocals. So they're not going to be perpendicular, but these two lines are going to intersect. But they're not perpendicular. And considering they're not exactly the same line, that's why they're not the same line. All right. Hey, Big G Money, how are you? Okay. So when it comes to slopes, when it comes to looking at the relationship of lines, you're looking at their slopes. All right. So you got a whole number of 2. You have a 1/2. Now, 1/2 is basically the reciprocal of 2, but we need the opposite reciprocal. So if I have, here's a side note, changing colors. So if I had -1/3, the opposite reciprocal of -1/3 is going to be a positive 3/1, or just 3. So if I had a positive 5, the opposite reciprocal of that will be a -1/5. So the opposite part is dealing with the signs. The reciprocal is dealing with the flip. Anytime you have a whole number, it's always going to be over 1 for your slopes. Okay. All right. Good. You struggle with that? So we're doing good? All right. So this is definitely for those. I originally have it for those that are doing the GED, the ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, the TEAS test, the HESI test. Most of the standardized, but I've been getting a couple of those students that are currently in algebra class. You know, Vienna, are you all right? You need help with life? What's going on? Yeah, this is algebra. So the opposite of 5 is -5, but we need the opposite reciprocal. Okay, Monstro, we need the opposite reciprocal. All right, thank you. All right. Okay, so this is it for tonight, but give me a moment. If anything, this is where you can go, because I know some people came in a little bit later, or they're like, oh, I wish you said that again. Maybe I skipped it. Okay, this is where you can go. Okay, you go here, you do a search for this. I would love for you to do any of these, especially this one. That would be great to build that up. And what I do, there's a playlist that says TikTok Live. I know, it's really deep with the name. So you will see all of my lives from February the 2nd. And you can take a look. Some of them have like problems like we were doing tonight. That's just a mixture. Some of them I actually focused on particular lessons like factoring or adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing fractions, decimals, long division, exponents, what else? Logs, exponentials. So you go, have fun, take a look, see what helps, see what resonates. Now, if you do need a tutor, I'm telling you, the best time, the only times that I have open are basically on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Everything else, I'm booked solid because I'm not tutoring at 11 o'clock anymore. Okay? There's a line. And I already got my 10 o'clock person already situated. Oh, thank you. All right. So, but if you do need a tutor, if you don't mind, even my early mornings are booked up. I mean, that's Alaska and who else? And some adults. So I know some people are finishing up with their college algebra courses. I know some people are just getting their praxis, or they're going after the ASVAB now that everything's opened up. I know a few people are taking their ASVAB either next week or the week after. So, but if you do need situations or some assistance, go ahead and reach out and we'll take it from there. All right. Okay. I try to make it easy, Winter. I really do. All right. To refresh your memory, good. You need a tutor for your ASVAB? Hey, definitely reach out. If anything, you can just send me a message, even though we may or may not be friends just yet. You can go, oh, thank you. Thank you, Michael. You can just go ahead and send me a message, and don't just say a message saying hi, because I'm going to delete it because I got too many stalkers. I don't know why. But if anything, just let me know what you need assistance in, and then we'll take it to our next steps. Okay? All right, but my tutoring is at a cost. I normally, for my tutoring sessions, I normally charge $92, but for my TikTok people, I've been doing $77. And one person actually gifted a tutoring session, and I have a young lady already took that, and another person took the other one. But that's a possibility as well. All right. So if you need assistance, let me know. Oh, you're paraeducator? Oh, okay. Hey, Wanda, reach out. Okay. Am I leaving already? Yes. Yeah. I have to get myself a day. Yes, an hour. An hour. And I can tell you, I'm good at what I do. People have been getting results. Oh, hey, Boo. Jenny. Yeah, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. Usually the holidays are the hardest time for me. And I'll be truthful. If I didn't get a message from Michael R. that's on here, if I didn't give a message from him today, I wouldn't have come on. I would have stayed in my misery. So you can thank Michael having me come on. Yeah, I know. So, yeah, I was really down in the dumps, man. Down in the dumps. Okay, do you want me? Oh, all right, I'll do two more. Two more, okay? Two more, and that's it. Then I'll be back in my old ways. She's like, yay, two more. All right, so taking a look at this graph. What is the equation of the line in the graph? Is it A, y equals negative 1/3 x plus 1? B, y equals negative 1/3 x plus 3? C, y equals negative 3x plus 1? Or D, y equals negative 3x plus 3? With derivatives? Yeah, I used to struggle with those too. Okay. All right, so Winter is saying B. Emily is saying A. Okay, remember, if you're not sure, you can put a question mark. Celine, is it Salino? Salinio is saying A. Okay, Lovely is saying C. Okay. Okay. So for all my GED people, this is another 4-point question. Okay, Michael's saying B. Saying A. How much is it going across? Oh, they're counting by ones. Both axes are counting by ones. Okay, you're struggling? Okay, I got you. Okay, hey Sammy. Okay, Kaya, we got her B. Okay, Sammy, we got B. Rowan got C. All right. Okay. Abraham, how are you? Okay, JK. Okay, wins the answer. I'm gonna get it right now. So, first thing, anytime I'm looking at a graph, I notice they're counting by ones. So right here has to be 1, because if I go 2, 3, 4, there's 5. So this has to be 1. So my y-intercept is going to be 1. So I look at my answer choices. The ones that don't have a 1 is B and D. Now, the distance or the difference between A and C are their slopes. This is a negative 1/3. this is a -3. Well, the line is going down from left to right, so both of them are correct. It's going to be negative. But I notice this steepness is not as intensive. So I know if I went from this point here to my x-intercept right here, which is at +3, I can go down 1 and over 1, 2, 3. So that's telling me my rise is -1, but my run is 3. So that gives me an answer of A. And remember what I mentioned earlier. If I take a look at it, it's not that steep. Okay? This is not that treadmill at 15. Treadmill at 15 is like here. Like you're just ascending into the heavens, right? Okay? That's craziness. All right? Be it at level 1. Get it to 1, 2 maybe. Little stretch out there. Okay? Because if I did it at a 3, that will be really sharp. Really sharp. It won't be like this. It'll be more like this. Okay? All right. Last one. I'm passing out. All right, so which equation is y plus 5 equals 1/3 x minus 9? Okay, we want that in slope-intercept form. So is it A, B, C, or D? With the x and y intercept? Yes. Yep. Y -1/3. Okay, I'm going to get back to it in a second. Let me get this. I know you guys just don't want me to leave. You're like, let's ask her y -1/3 so she can stay on. All right, so I got a couple more of the, a couple of B's. I got Sharon with an A, a whole bunch of B's. We have Mina, we have Eli, we have Jenny. Okay, all with the B's. B's in that. Oh, sorry. Okay, the biggest boss is with B. All right, so let's take a look. Michael with B's, Timmy with B. Timmy! Love it. Burgess. All right, so if anything, this is in what's called point slope form. Well, we know right here that 1/3, this is our slope. So you notice all of them have the same 1/3, so that's not going to help us. But if I do the distributive property, so I'm going to have y plus 5 equals 1/3 x minus 1/3 of 3, or 1/3 of 9 is 3, because 9 divided by 3 gives me 3. So now I want to subtract the 5. Because I'm trying to get y by itself. So once I do this, I have -3 minus 5. Okay? Both of them have a negative. That means I'm going to add these two together and keep the signage. So 3 plus 5, that gives me 8. So that means I have my 1/3 x minus 8. That's what y equals. This is slope-intercept form, aka y equals mx plus b. So your answer is going to be B, because that's the only one that has a -8 for your y-intercepts. Okay, so it is B. Good. All right. Now, going back to the 1/3, okay, if I'm doing my slope, here's my y-intercept, which was the 1. Here's another point on the x-axis. Remember, slope is your rise over your run. So you're going from one point on the graph to another point on the graph. So I'm going to go down 1, so that's -1 over 1, 2, 3. So that's a positive 3. So my rise was -1 and my run was 3. That's why we have that -1/3. Okay, you're getting it? Awesome. All right, trust me, getting a lot of these equations, knowing the difference between parallel and perpendicular lines, in addition to all the basic math, you're going to pass your GED, hands down. And when you start seeing questions like this for people that are taking the ASVAB, you're doing really well. You're definitely in the late 40s, early 50s. Okay. All right. Not a problem. Okay. I do. I do refresh a lot. So again, give me some time to download and upload it here. And then seriously, if you need a tutor, just go ahead and send me a request message. And also just send me a message, DM me. It's perfectly fine. And then go here so you can take a look at some of the videos. And I really do break it on down. A little bit too much sometimes, but hey, what am I going to do? All right. Okay, so I'm going to skedaddle. Today is what? I don't know about Friday. I'm going to try to be here tomorrow. I am planning on cleaning the heck out of my house. It has been neglected for a while because of tutoring and lives and all this other stuff. So, I don't want to live like this anymore. So I'm going to be super sore and not going to the gym, climbing the edge of 15. But I will definitely talk with you guys later. All right. Have a great night and be good to yourselves. All right. I'm glad you're here. What is the GED winter? That's like a high school equivalent. So I know a lot of states call it different things. Okay. Yes. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. No problem. All right. Stay safe. Please be careful. And I'm going to see if I can watch a little bit of football, see what happens. All right. Even though I'm an Eagles fan, but we'll just keep that down the wraps, All right. Have a great day, guys. Bye now.